I'll put it on. Good afternoon, colleagues. Honourable Mr. Tim Watts, Assistant Minister of Foreign Affairs of Australia, Your Excellency, Mr. Andrew Barnes, Ambassador of Australia to Lebanon, esteemed members of the media and colleagues. WFP welcomes today the generous contribution of $7 million Australian dollars from the Government of Australia to provide life-saving assistance to vulnerable families across the country. People in Lebanon continue to carry the burden of a devastating economic crisis, a crisis that does not differentiate and whose effects are taking a toll on many people. I have visited families who once lived a life where they never had to worry about feeding their children and all the cost of transportation to get to their jobs, and have suddenly woken up with a looming uncertainty on how to provide day-to-day necessities. This is not a fictional scenario. This is the reality for thousands across this country. Many who could afford food before cannot anymore. Almost 42% of people in Lebanon are facing high levels of food insecurity and require urgent humanitarian action to ensure their access to sufficient and nutritious food. People's purchasing power can no longer keep up with the prices of basic food items. At WFP, I continue to bear witness, alongside my colleagues, to more families making painful trade-offs to cope with food inflation and declining food security levels. However, with the support of our donors, we continue to work around the clock to ensure that food assistance reaches the people who need it the most. Just last month, WFP reached 1.8 million people across the country with critical food assistance, where we, amongst other things, distributed 3,200 metric tons of these kind of food parcels that you see around to families all over the country. We are truly grateful to the people of Australia and the Government of Australia for their continued support and trust in WFP's work to reach the most vulnerable people in Lebanon. Thank you so much.